Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. And we say it like we mean it, and we mean it because it's true. You wouldn't go to a chiropractor for surgery. You wouldn't go to a chiropractor to get a bullet surgically removed, to get a kidney surgically removed, right? You go to chiropractors for other things. Well, nor should you go to anyone with an MD after their name for a chronic health condition, because their training does not allow them to have the right skill set to interface with your health. They don't. It's like they're a football team and they only have a passing game. That's all they do is they pass and they pass. They don't know how to run the ball. All they do is pass and pass and pass and pass. And because it's a one-trick pony with them, because of their methodology is based on an old-fashioned, outdated, dangerous philosophy called allopathic reductionism, their wheelhouse is exclusively inside the domain of surgery when it's absolutely necessary, trauma care, and a handful of infectious diseases. That is the wheelhouse of the MD. And that is what they excel at. But for everything else, their therapeutics are not intended to cure the problem. Their therapeutics end up acting like throwing a wrench into a complex set of gears. Their therapeutics are the leading cause of bankruptcy and the leading cause of death. So why on earth would you go to them if you have a chronic disease? The only reason you would is because you don't know there's anything else to do. And the reason that you don't know there's anything else to do is because they have monopolized the medical theater through the help of the pharmaceutical industry for the last 80, 90 years, so that they own the show, not because their therapeutics are better, but because their therapeutics were legislated into first place. They're in the catbird seat. They're in the first place position not because of skill, but because of pharmaceutical bribe money. And because their monopoly is an out-of-control financial juggernaut, nobody knows that there do exist right now in real time medical nutrition therapeutics developed and delivered by licensed physicians, the intention of which are to support and promote the human body's ability to fix itself. This is what I do, this is what my colleagues do, and this is what Longevity does. This is why I am a champion of the international nutritional supplement company Longevity. Their founder, my colleague, mentor, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, has more clinical experience, more research experience than any living physician on planet Earth currently. His knowledge base eclipses all others, and Dr. Wallach has done all of the heavy lifting for you. Dr. Wallach, after $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries, and 30-plus years of clinical work with real people with real disease as a physician, has dialed in foundation, holistic, medical nutrition recovery strategies that you can get into right now today. You don't have to wait. There are therapeutics available to you right now today that were developed and are delivered by physicians, the intention of which are to support healthy lungs, support healthy heart, support healthy blood sugar, support healthy joints, support healthy brain, eyes, etc., etc., etc. This is what you so desperately need, and regretfully what you know nothing about because of the pharmaceutical monopolization of the medical marketplace. Science progresses one funeral at a time. My colleagues and I have been telling people for decades not to eat wheat and to stay away from gluten. Decades we've been telling people to stay away from gluten, and now finally researchers confirm what naturopathic physicians have been saying for decades. This from the Epoch Times, and by the way, this was forwarded to me through an insider, a Dr. Glidden insider. His name is David Drillick. This comes to us through a Dr. Glidden insider, David Drillick. He forwarded me this article, and I'm going to read it to you now. Wheat gluten confirmed to promote weight gain. Wheat gluten is confirmed to promote weight gain. New research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry this month confirms some of the basic tenets of the book Wheat Belly, written by Dr. William Davis, which argues that wheat avoidance results in healthy weight loss. Gluten exclusion has been proposed as an option for the prevention of diseases other than celiac disease. However, the effects of gluten-free diets on obesity and its mechanisms of action have not been studied. Thus, our objective was to assess whether gluten exclusion can prevent fat buildup and the consequences thereof. In this experiment, mice, interestingly enough, were fed either a high-fat diet containing about 5% gluten or no gluten whatsoever. The researchers then assessed the following 16 parameters in both groups. They looked at all these scientific parameters: body weight, fat gain, leukocyte rolling and adhesion, that means how healthy the white blood cells are, macrophage infiltration, cytokine production, blood lipid profiles, blood sugar profiles, insulin resistance, and a whole bunch of other just really scientific terms that most people in the listening audience would be clueless about. It was a pretty well-done, sophisticated study. Two groups of mice, one fed gluten. They both had the same diet, except one group got gluten and the other ones didn't. And then they measured all these biochemical parameters to see what the heck's going on. Remarkably, the research found that the gluten-free mice showed a reduction in body weight and fat content without changes in caloric intake or lipid excretion. That means they weren't getting rid of fat faster than the control group, and they weren't eating more calories or less calories than the control group, and they still lost weight. We interpret this to mean that the weight gain associated with wheat consumption has little to do with caloric intake per se. Rather, the gluten proteins disrupt endocrine and exocrine processes within the body, as well as directly modulating nuclear gene expression. This is epigenetics. In such a way as to alter metabolism in the direction of weight gain. So this means, well, that's fancy schmancy doctor talk for when you eat wheat, you gain weight, and it's got nothing to do with calories. There's some other biochemical reaction that happens in the body that causes the body to gain weight, vis-a-vis increase the production of fat cells. Sometimes, the article says, we forget that food is not simply a source of energy or the material building blocks for the body, but a source of information as well. The way in which food directly interacts with the genes, gene expression, or gene product structure and function is the object of study of the burgeoning new field of epigenetics. Wheat, like anything we attempt to use as a food, contains both energy and matter and information that the body will use to maintain its genetic integrity or interfere with it. Very interesting, right? So the research has been done. It's confirmed, at least in mice, and, you know, as above, so below, that wheat consumption increases your body's production of fat independent of calorie intake. And, oh, by the way, the article also went on to say that the gluten-free mice had better blood sugar metabolism, So this means if you're diabetic, if you're type 1 diabetic, type 2 diabetic, if you're insulin resistant, if you have syndrome X or metabolic syndrome, then you need to stop eating wheat. Of course, wheat is one of the 10 foods that I've been recommending people for the last 5 years to stop eating like the plague. Wheat is one of the 10 bad foods that I have been recommending people stop eating for the last long time. And you can get the list of Dr. Glidden's 10 bad foods on my website. It's free, by the way, and I don't know if you can beat free. drglidden.com, drglidden.com. I also did a free webinar that's probably available on YouTube. It's also available on my website, which explains why each of the 10 bad foods is bad. You know, and this is an important consideration because we have been culturally conditioned by the medical industry to just shut up, bend over, and do what the doctor says without question. So the doctors have taken advantage of this socialization process, and they stopped explaining things to patients long ago. Just shut up, you peon. I'm the doctor. I know what's best. Here, just take this pill, take this shot, sign up for this surgical procedure because I said so. Well, guess what? I don't operate that way. My colleagues do not operate that way. Honestly, I don't know how any physician with a conscience can operate that way, but that's what happens when an industry becomes monopolized. All of a sudden, sloppy, bad behavior becomes the norm. So I go out of my way to affirm the oath that I took as a physician in 1991 to educate my patients and the public at large about what's going on. And as a matter of fact, the root word of doctor in Latin, docere, means teacher. When was the last time your MD ever sat you down and explained something to you? Did I hear you say never? Well, I concur. So I put a whole webinar together, and it's free. It's free. Which explains why wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, well-done red meat, meat with nitrates added as preservatives, carbonated beverages with a meal, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes are bad and need to be avoided like the plague. Knowledge goes a long way here, ladies and gentlemen, towards increasing or decreasing your health. And the stuff that is so far outside of your reference range regarding health and food and medical nutrition, the information that is so far afield that you didn't even know you didn't know that, that's the information that will kill you or heal you. And I'm giving it away here on drglidden.com. Join the live video stream, why don't you? The drgliddenshow.tv. 46 people in the chat room now. Back after these messages. Welcome back, everybody. Join the live video stream. The drglidden show.tv. Currently, there are 52 people in the house. We've got Arizona in the house. We have Winnipeg in the house. We have Memphis in the house. We have St. Louis in the house. We have Albany, Oregon in the house. We have Germany in the house. We have Ann Arbor, Michigan. We have Cartagena in the house. We are all over the world. Why is this? Because human suffering knows no nationality, knows no age, knows no race, creed, nor color. Pain sucks in all languages, in all nationalities. And, 2 plus 2 is 4 the world wide over. And even in Cro-Magnon days, when Cro-Magnons had ostensibly no working knowledge of higher mathematics, 2 plus 2 still equaled 4, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Well, this is the thing about truth. This is the thing about knowledge. Knowledge exists. Truth exists. And eventually it is uncovered. And once you have experienced the truth, you are in its velvet grasp forever. Once you understand that in base 10 mathematics, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 2 plus 2 always equals 4, and there's no getting around it. You want to try to get around it, good luck balancing your bank account. Good luck convincing your banker, that 2 plus 2 equals 1 million. Well, guess what? It doesn't. Well, it's no different really with any other aspect of the world, right? We've got mathematics and we've got medicine. We've got the science of medicine. Well, the science of medicine argues, the science of holistic medicine argues, that actually doesn't argue. I need to choose my words carefully. The science of medical nutrition has uncovered the truth that there are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs in order to function optimally. 90 nutrients. 90. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. In order for your body to function the way that God and nature intended it to, your body needs 90 essential nutrients inside of it every single solitary day. The problem is, it is not just tricky, it is impossible to secure all 90 essential nutrients from food. You cannot do it. It is impossible. You could own 1,000 acres of the most pristine organic farmland in the world. You could have your own cattle, your own pigs, your own chickens, your own vegetables, your own fruit and nut trees. Everything's grown 100% organic, and you only ate food grown in your little organic paradise, and you would still be nutritionally deficient. It does not matter how good your diet is. The nutrients that your body needs are not all present in the food. They are not there, period. So, the same way that we need to take showers every day and cleanse our body, the same way that we need to eat calories for energy every day, the same way that we need to drink water every day, and the same way that we need to put clothing on to protect ourselves from the elements when we go outside, the same way that we need to purify the water that we drink, and the same way we need to eliminate our waste products consciously, we need to secure the 90 essential nutrients every day. And this is the foundation of the paradigm shift of medicine that is happening right now in the world. This is big-time stuff. This is not another vitamin company. This is not another nutritional supplement. This is science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for the masses, the intention of which is to change the way that people understand and deal with medicine. We are about doing an end around the pharmaceutical industry and flipping our understanding of healthcare up on its nose, because your MD may be the nicest person God ever created. Your MD may be the smartest person God ever created, but your MD does not know what's best for you. Your MD only knows what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is one tiny piece of the pie of medical science. It's called allopathic reductionism, and it is only suited for trauma, surgery, and infectious disease, period. If you bring your body to the office of an MD and you're chronic illness, you're a fool, because your MD is not equipped to help you, not to heal your condition. Your MD is only trained how to manage your condition. And if I was king of the world, it would be illegal for MDs to say that they practice health care, because they do not. While we have been under their tutelage, our health has gotten worse and worse and worse. MDs practice disease management. There's a gigantic difference. If you want health care, you've come to exactly the right place. Foundation, boilerplate, medical nutrition for the masses. God is my witness, you have no idea what you're missing. Stay tuned. We're going to North Carolina when we come back. Gentlemen, your steadfast advocate for health. Let's get to the phones. It's phone time, baby. Melissa from North Carolina is up first. Hey, Melissa. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. How are you?
Well, I'm good, but I'll get better, God willing, and the creek don't rise. What's happening in North Kakalaki?
Well, I have some frustration going on. I talked with you, about 11 weeks ago, and you really helped me dial in as to what I needed to do. And so I have been diligent because I'm going to get healthy. I'm determined. But I have some weird things that have kind of popped up. I did go and have my annual blood work done by a functional medicine doctor whose wife is an ND. And I have high platelets, 470.
That's interesting.
I have really odd leg flutters, not like neuropathy, like a butterfly flutter.
Yeah, that's a calcium deficiency. Yeah.
Okay. PVC.
Preventricular contractions, yeah.
Okay. And low HDL, low iron, and some weird head outbreaks, like sore spots in my head that's just popping up. He says I'm horribly toxic, and my fungus number came back a 3 because of 12 rounds of antibiotics.
Oh, yeah, so that's interesting. Oh, well, how did they do that test? Do you remember what they did?
I had to pay a lot of money for a GI Effects 2200 comprehensive.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the guy that developed that test. All right, so, yeah, you had some good testing done here. So let's take them one at a time, okay? So the fluttering, muscle twitching and fluttering anywhere in the body, the first, second, and third thing to think about is not enough calcium and magnesium, period. It's rarely more complicated than that. So are you taking the powdered calcium or the liquid calcium right now?
Liquid, And I've got my numbers. Calcium's 9.8, magnesium 6.8.
Yeah, I don't care about that because those blood tests.
Liquid.
All right. Those blood tests are irrelevant. So how much do you weigh?
180. I just lost 130 pounds.
What?
Yep. I've never been able to lose weight my entire life. I've been the fat kid.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why were you, what? How much did you lose?
130 pounds.
I wish I had my gigantic applause track available right now because you'd get the gigantic stadium applause. That is unbe-freaking-believable. How long did it take you to lose 130 pounds?
A little over a year. When I started this, it kind of just started. I mean, I came off of gluten, so it was interesting to hear what you had to say. I've always been the fat kid. You know, we always lived in the country, ate whatever. I came off of gluten whenever I got sick, and I started to lose weight little by little. Wow. And then it just kind of, continued to come off. When I started this, I just really began to lose weight. I mean, not doing anything. I've been so fatigued, I can't exercise. Yeah. So, I mean, it works. I mean, you have to give your body, I tell everybody that. How did you lose the weight? You have to give your body what it needs. And come off
I have a friend, his name is Mark Denning. He goes by the Commander, and he's a big Army vet. I think he was in the Army for 14 years. He's a registered nurse. And when I met him, he was at least 150 pounds overweight. He had the same experience that you did. He lost all this weight. He reversed his type 2 diabetes. He had like 7, I don't know how many blood clots in his legs. They weren't going away. He was on more Coumadin, enough Coumadin to kill a rhinoceros, for goodness sake. Nothing was working. Long story short, in about 6 months to a year on my program, maybe not even, everything went away. And one of the things he did was he kept his old identification badge that had the picture of him on it when he was, like 300 and whatever pounds. Mm-hmm. And he would show that to people when he was telling them about longevity. And it was like the before and after is, oh, my flipping word. And the thing about it is that a lot of people who have remarkable, like, awesome weight loss, they weren't really trying to lose weight when they started the program. They were doing the program for other things, and then the weight kind of just slipped off quietly in the night, right? Which is what happened to you. Now, imagine what we could do, Melissa, if everybody in the United States knew what you know. Imagine what we could do. 30% of the population is obese. 30%, and it's more than that, actually. It's a giant thing in the childhood population, and the MD's got nothing for it. Lap band surgery, cut the stomach out. There's a good solution, boys. Let's just cut the stomach out. You got to be freaking kidding me. So, oh my God, that's awesome. 130 pounds. All right. So we're on the same page now. So the recommendation for you or anybody that's having muscle twitching anywhere in the body is you got to take more calcium. And how much more? I don't know. Try 2 extra ounces a day for 7 days. And once you find I wouldn't think that you would need more than that. And once you dial in a proper calcium dose and the muscle fluttering and twitching disappears, then you can wean off of the extra dose, right? And go back to a normal dose for your body weight. A normal dose for your body weight right now is 1 ounce twice a day.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, 1 ounce twice a day. So for 7 days, do 1 ounce 4 times a day. And when you take your ounce, put it in a citrus juice, like pineapple juice or orange juice. 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium and 1 ounce or 2 of some type of, orange juice or orange pineapple juice, and drink it down like that. It'll absorb better into your system. Okay. Preventricular contractions, most of the time, there's nothing wrong with the heart. Your heart is fine. The problem is the nerve transmissions to the heart. And, what messes up nerve transmissions to the heart? Well, your nerves, when they come out of your spinal cord, they're protected by your backbone, and if your backbone is not right, if you need a chiropractic adjustment, or if the intervertebral discs that are between the spinous, the vertebrae in your back, they should be, as thick as a book, but they're only as thick as a piece of paper, because over time they've lost the nutrients that they need to maintain their structural integrity, then you're going to have a funky heartbeat. Have you become an insider on my website yet?
I haven't. Mm-mm.
Okay, so I would encourage you to do that just for 1 month, and it's just $20. And check out the webinar that I did on atrial fibrillation. I did a 50-minute webinar on atrial fibrillation, which is kind of like preventricular contractions taken to the next level, right? That's kind of where you're headed if you don't address this, and there's only so much explaining I can do in a couple of minutes on the radio.
Right. Okay.
But I did a whole webinar about this, and you'd benefit from it a great amount. So basically, the short answer here is you need glucogel in order to support the cartilage between the vertebrae in your back. Now, at 180 pounds, you've got two choices. You can do 18 capsules of the glucogel a day, 6 with breakfast, 6 with lunch, and 6 with dinner. 18 a day, that's 540 a month, so you're going to have to figure out how many bottles of the glucogel to buy to hit that number. Or you could get 4 bottles of the liquid glucogel plus and do 1 ounce 4 times a day. 1 ounce 4 times a day of the liquid glucogel plus, or 18 capsules a day of the glucogel capsules, whatever floats your boat. You can also mix them up and match them up as long as the math works, okay?
Okay.
So more calcium, more glucogel. Now, there were 2 other things you were concerned with, and I forgot what they are.
Low iron and low HDL.
Okay, so you don't need to worry about the HDL because that will sort itself over time once your digestive tract sorts itself out. And, healing is a process, right? And when you eliminate the 10 bad foods, how old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay, so for, let's say, 39 years before you got onto the right track, right? Well, how long ago did you eliminate gluten?
It's been a year and a half. I got really sick. Doctors did not do me any favors. I had an infection for many months, and they did surgery.
Oh, all right. Okay, so there's a lot going on here, right?
Yeah.
So for 39 years, you have what I'm basically trying to say is you have 39 years of trouble to fix, right? Now you've come a long, long way, girlfriend. I mean, that's the steps the success that you've had in 13 months is awesome, quite frankly. So you just need to give this product more time. There is one thing that you can do because of the fat absorption thing here and the HDL numbers. There's one thing that you can do to speed this along, and that would be to go and have a series of colonic hydrotherapy treatments.
Oh, my gosh, that was going to be the last question I asked you. I have it scheduled for Friday, but I was nervous about my mineral levels being off if I did it.
Oh, no. No harm, no foul, man. That's a really good thing for you to do. However, given your experience with your health, I would advise you to, have at least 6 colonics, and you want to do them, kind of close to each other, like 1 colonic every other day or 2 colonics a week for 3 weeks or whatever. Okay. But because of your history, in this case, more for you is better. More is better. Okay. And while you're having the colonics and for about 2 weeks after your last colonic, I would do some type of probiotic. And Longevity has 3 ones you can choose from. They have the Nightly Essence, they have the Flora FX, and they have the Root Beer Belly.
Yeah, we live off of Root Beer Belly here. Okay,
so you want to continue that through the colonics and for at least 2 weeks after the fact, okay?
Okay.
And the other thing, what was it, red spots or something on your skin, on your scalp?
I have breakout spots on my scalp, but I have low iron.
Yeah, well, the iron situation is not so much a function of not enough iron in your body, but it's a function of not enough cofactors for your body to be able to metabolize the iron. And often in a situation like this, the liver is in play. The liver function is not what it needs to be. Okay. So in order to support healthy liver function, at 180 pounds, my advice would be 12 selenium a day. 12 of the ultimate selenium a day, 12 of the ultimate selenium a day, and it may be prudent for you to get a bottle or two of the plant-derived minerals just all by themselves, because Youngevity makes that, just the minerals. And they have it in 3 forms. They have it just the minerals, unflavored, in a liquid 32-ounce bottle. They have the minerals with cherry juice added and a little apple juice to make it taste better. And they have freeze-dried mineral caps. Either way, it may be prudent for you to add a standalone mineral supplement for a month or two at an ounce a day, which would be a bottle a month, or 2 ounces a day, which would be 2 bottles a month, whatever floats your boat.
Okay.
More minerals are also necessary for your body to have the cofactors necessary to metabolize iron, because there's usually tons of iron in the diet, and iron is usually not wanting as far as dietary sources go. But the body needs a whole bunch of other nutrients in order to metabolize it. And because you've had such a, weight gain is a drop-dead diagnostic indicator that the person who has excessive weight gain is extremely nutritionally deficient. Mm-hmm. So your body hasn't just been a little nutritionally deficient, it's been extremely nutritionally deficient. And, we're playing catch-up here is what we're doing. Honest to God, another thing you could do is just give it more time, because you're on exactly the right track.
Okay.
I love my job. How about you? Imagine what I could do if there were 1,000 of me. Imagine what we could do. Imagine what we could do if there were 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million of me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what we are doing. No, I'm not cloning myself. I am, however, growing a giant grassroots coalition of the informed, teaching people the easy, breezy, lemon squeezy things that they need to know to help their friends and family members and church members find their way into the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Everybody needs to know what we know, and nobody does, and that's why we need your help. So stop mucking around, man. Join Youngevity today. What the heck are you waiting for? There's 2 entrance fees. You can join Youngevity for $10. One-time $10 membership fee. That's the, kick the tires, slam the door entrance fee. $10. Can you afford to lose $10 on a business opportunity that has the potential to change the lives of people? Not only health-wise, but also wealth-wise. You want to give a $10 bet there? I can find $10, for goodness sake. Get with the person who told you about my radio program. Get with the person who told you about my radio program and ask them to explain to you the Youngevity business opportunity. And if it feels good, grab the ring and enter the ring and help us spread our word of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for the masses. Clinton from Minnesota is up next. Hey, Clinton, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
How you doing today, Dr. Glidden?
I'm great, Clinton. What's shaking?
Well, I'm really dealing with some real serious issues today with a few of my people. One of them is a lady that I met, and she just got a diagnosis, and I've been explaining to her that it's not the end of the world for uterine cancer, and I would like you to go into depth on that part. Then another one is also dealing with one for my pastor. He had and these are big words, so you're going to have to kind of write this down. The word was AMLA. It's AMLOBLASTOMA, and it's also Mandibular lesion, and it's on his collateral bone. And then the other third part of the question is something called a dermatosis papulosis nigra, Nigra. So those are the 3.
Black spots. That means black bumps on the skin. Don't you love? Don't you love fancy schmancy doctor talk, right? This language, by the way, was designed to make you feel intellectually inferior, not just you, but everybody else. It's the same way that, back in the day in the Catholic Church, but back in the 16th and 15th centuries, the church who ruled everything, the priests would do high mass on this altar that was elevated above the assembled, peons. And they'd have their back to the people who were attending mass, and they do the whole thing in Latin, right? And the intention of this was to make the parishioners feel, inferior. And so that, oh my God, the priest must know a lot more than I do, and of course they didn't. So there's a method to the madness here. It's also why when you go to court, the judge sits up above you. The judge is always up above you. They built it that way on purpose to make you feel inferiorly, like the judge is looking down on you. The intention is to make you feel scared. Well, it's the same way with all of this highfalutin Latin language that physicians roll off their tongue, and when you dial it down to the brass tacks, that particular diagnosis, all that it means is little brown or black bumps on the skin. And when the doctor says it in Latin, well, you feel like genuflecting at the altar of their intelligence, right? It's nonsense. And we need to get our act together. Hard break here. Stick with me. I'll be back and answer your questions after these words. So glad you called. Stick around, folks.